Hey guys, it's another beautiful day outside. What's the temperature this morning? Huh?
We're not out there, but yeah, it's beautiful.
So I think it was supposed to get 52. Not sure what it actually hit below. So this is going to be kind of another varietal episode, I guess, but we're going to kind of focus on, one sort of thing. But first of all, what kind of shirt are you wearing there?
Compton.
Who is that on there?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, straight out of Compton. Do you like Ice Cube as an actor or singer?
He's okay.
Okay, I hope Ice Cube doesn't see that. You just hurt his feelings. He was obviously in NWA, and now he's a solo artist, and he's in, movies. He's even in some, like, Disney. Was it Disney, or is it just family movies? I don't know if he's been in Disney movies or not, but he had, like, what was it, Are We There Yet? Which was kind of a family trip one.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about YouTube and, how do we come up with topics for, Natalie sit down, talks, how do we come up with topics?
Mostly your ideas.
So I asked Natalie, what does she want to talk about? And
he'll give me ideas and I either okay them or shoot them down.
And most of my ideas
I shoot down.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about some of the crazy ideas that I think we could still possibly do, but yesterday we took 3 attempts to do the video, and after the second attempt, our third attempt was to go back to kind of the first ideas, but we were outside. We had a lot of distraction with dogs and neighbors hollering. So we came back inside and it kind of worked for us. So anybody commenting on this video, tell Natalie to think about some ideas, because I asked her what her ideas are and she's, I don't know. So she's like, you're the producer, you come up with whatever. So
feel free, you guys, to throw ideas out there, like, what do you guys want to know or hear or talk about? Like, I don't know, I mean,
when we were doing the fundraising, obviously we had, like, ask us a question, we'll kind of give you this answer, to certain questions, and after a while, it fizzled out. But if you guys want to know, we're not fundraising, so just ask away in the comments or whatever. And so our first idea after doing the fundraising and stuff was to make this channel all about Natalie. Branding Natalie. FA, her life and adventures. And it's been difficult. Why don't you talk about it? What's your, they want to know what you think. Go ahead. This is raw, fresh in your head.
Well, I don't want it to be just about me. I mean, my life involves you and our 3 kids. I want it to be about all of us. I mean, at the same time, I still want to touch on FA topics, but there are only so many of those, and it's part of me, but not all of me.
Yeah, and there are other people in wheelchairs that are showing wheelchair life, and a lot of them make it. You know, these people are paraplegic and stuff, and there are differences between what Natalie has and getting in a car wreck or something and being partially paralyzed, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about those differences and how it may be harder for you to just do things faster and as easy as somebody with like paraplegia.
Okay.
I guess okay. So I guess she doesn't want to say it. So she's got obviously a neuromuscular disease. So it affects every muscle, her nerves.
Right, it's different. Yeah, like, so even picking up a spoon, it's not the same as someone who may be paraplegic because they have upper body control, dexterity, like all their movements are
Sometimes more core strength and
like, I hate saying this, but they're like normal people. You know, it's where to me it's different because even picking up a spoon or something that takes a lot of muscle and control and dexterity and things like that. So that's part of why I'm in the OT. And things that we're working on, like even putting on a shirt, like, takes me longer than maybe a quadriplegic because, again, they have normal use of their
paraplegic.
arms.
All right. Do quadriplegics have any control over anywhere? I mean, you see them with like the tongue and the little, controls, but they don't really have control of their arms, do they?
Think so, no, a quadriplegic.
So we're talking about.
Quadriplegic means all four limbs.
So.
But I'm talking about like a paraplegic. Which is just weights down.
So a paraplegic, they have coordination sometimes, or usually. They can be bubbly and they can talk fast without slurring, and they can put their arms out and grab a phone or whatever it is, and versus somebody with like MS or advanced MS and what's the other one? Muscular dystrophy, and obviously FA and possibly other ataxias. So she has some control over all of her limbs, but it's just not, she can't get the fine minute details. She can't be, if she were to, let's try to see if we can do an example of this.
And even like reaching out and grabbing something.
All right, just see if you can just punch that. Let's just show them. Let's see if you hit it. See, it goes way up there. It's not really aimed. So, I mean, and this is what neurologists and stuff, when you go, they'll do little tests to see if you can hit, the right area, see how hard you can squeeze and everything like that. So a paraplegic, they can just grab the bottle and, and they can race in a wheelchair, as long as they got their arms and stuff. They can grab stuff off of a store shelf without a problem. They're more capable of doing scripted or whatever little adventures, in the grocery store or Disneyland or whatever it is, and make it seem fun and, almost normal, as Natalie said. So that kind of stuff, adventures are a little bit harder. They're a little bit more time consuming, and that doesn't mean we won't do them or try some of them on camera. And we really need I need like a point of view, a GoPro system or something, maybe, so we can start showing people how we transfer and get out of bed and go to even the toilet or anything like that, so that it'll be like you experiencing what Natalie, you know,
what we go through.
what we
Yeah.
go through, and you know, it is boring. It is boring because we don't have that fast-paced, energetic stuff that other people are capable of doing. But hopefully, at least other people with FA that isn't advanced as Natalie's. I mean, when you were first, you know, you had your gait issues, right?
And I had a little bit of hand and control stuff, but probably nowhere near what it is now. And like I have other injuries to like my neck. And like when I was 8 months pregnant, I fell off the ramp and dislocated my right shoulder. Never went to the doctor, so then when I had the next kid, I had a C-section and I woke up. And my arm was numb and I've never fully, like,
It's never healed.
gotten my right arm back. Like, I'm still numb to this day. So, like, there have been other issues. Like, I've herniated disc and a couple of the car wrecks, like, in my neck. So, like, just things like that. Like, I'm not a typical case. I want to say normal case, but I hate that word because what is normal?
And how many? It was a few months before I met you. Somebody else, like, didn't they push you, like, not intentionally, over like a sidewalk at like a Publix market or something, and you were like black and bruised and everything?
My friend. It was nighttime and we were downtown. And I was in a push wheelchair. And we went to go up a curb. And she hit the side that wasn't like ramped out. You know, like they dipped down.
And this was like a 12-inch dip, wasn't it, or more? Like a foot?
I don't even know, like, maybe. I don't know, but
some of them get pretty deep.
She hit it, so the wheelchair didn't go up on the curve. It hit the side of the curve and stopped. And it threw me out on the sidewalk. And
when I bring up, like, past injuries and surgeries, Natalie is sometimes quick to say, well, that wasn't my FA, that was an accident. But most of these would be because you're FA, right? Like, you know, your radius, you fell and broke both your radiuses, right? And
so I broke one radius.
One radius. And you were running?
And not my radius, because it is wrist. So I broke what, your ulnar bone? I think is the one on top.
And you were running? Or
no.
You wasn't even running?
I was walking.
But because you lose coordination...
and I fell.
Because your coordination and stuff is slowly degraded with these kind of diseases, you eventually, obviously, have to be in a wheelchair like Natalie is. But there's a time period when you're walking and you're just tripping or falling, or you stumble and something breaks. And so in that respect, you know, most of her surgeries and stuff were from FA, including her scoliosis, and which, you know, it's tied to FA. The scoliosis is in her case, and a lot of people that have FA, and Harrington rod surgeries and stuff like that. And I've known other people that were in wheelchairs that did not have her, you know, FA, that had other issues. Like, what is that Carria, like Mitch's wife has, was it Carria malformation or whatever?
Yeah.
That kind of brain, where your brain or whatever, I think, grows like into the back of your neck or whatever, further than the skull permits. And they basically said, you know, told this other girl that I used to know, don't walk anymore. Get on a wheelchair. Even though she could walk, she just had these falls every once in a while, and they got worse and worse. So any kind of progressive thing, and I guess this Carrie, if I'm mispronouncing this, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's cured, you know, from a surgery or multiple surgeries. Hopefully forever, but I don't know. So we did a soft opening on our YouTube channel, you know, several months back, a year back or whatever, thinking we're going to see if we have what it takes to brand Natalie, to kind of see if we could ever become professional YouTubers with, you know, with branding Natalie. And it really hasn't worked.
Taken off.
It hasn't taken off, and a lot of it is our fault. We last year we had a conversation. I'm fixing to fall off the bar stool. Last year we had a conversation when we got a little bit of money. You know, should we invest like $5,000 or whatever into, you know, some more professional editing workstations, camera equipment, versus just doing this on an iPhone lens? And we could have done that, and it could still have never taken off. But on the other end of the spectrum, when you watch other people, professional YouTubers, they will mention that for every like 15 or 30 minutes of footage you see, they spend 6 or 12 hours in the editing studio doing that, you know. And if you're doing a video every week or a video every day, which some of them do, you have like probably an 80-hour work week, you know.
Yeah.
And we can't do that with 3 kids that are, you know, 5 and under, and, you know, and also take care of, you know, Natalie and dogs and cats, and trying to do laundry. You know, laundry is my nemesis, I would say. But
unfortunately, we were supposed to have that fixed. And unfortunately, the washer and dryer that I bought is not very handy capable. I use that term loosely, but handy capable. So I really can't use it, and we had to move it from bathroom back to the laundry room, and now I can't get in there because it's too big. So unfortunately, I wasted like $2,300 on a washer and dryer that was for me to benefit me, and I really can't use it. So he's stuck doing laundry.
And these low water laundry units are, you know, when you have kids and dogs and all, you know, smells that go along with that, when you put your laundry in there and you do a regular wash cycle on a low water, you know, eco, whatever you want to call them now, they do not get rid of all the smells. So we, you know, luckily you can add extra rinse cycles to it, but it takes 3 hours to do a load versus like the old standard, just, you know, top loading washer where you could just put some vinegar and baking soda in there, let it sit for an hour, and then let the load finish and have everything smelling just fine once it comes out of the dryer. But I think if no one, our master bathroom isn't small, it's pretty big. It's bigger than her apartment one. But when you start adding wheelchair showers, like roll-in showers, and accommodations for like dual vanities, you will quickly realize that you run out of room fast. And we got the wrong, you know, we got the wrong roll-in shower. It's not big enough. It wasn't our call probably wasn't anybody's fault other than lack of experience and knowledge of the situation, right? So we don't know if Natalie will ever be able to use it, or if we're going to have to knock it out and start all over again.
Yeah, right now it's time for so right now I can't use it.
So
I don't know what's gonna happen.
And we've probably talked about this before in other videos from a year or more ago, but you know, there are certain ways where PTs and occupational therapies and stuff are taught to tell people teach people how to do things, how to sit, how to, you know, what exercises, you know, but there's also individuals find ways, especially if they do not have accommodations early on in their disability, where they have to figure out a way around from having all these accommodations, and they get used to them. This is how it works for me, you know. And one of my things is, Natalie sits Indian style, right?
Yeah.
We've had things kind of accommodated where the foot plates would be in the way, you know, and a lot of, you know, if she sat the way she's supposed to according to PTs and OTs and doctors, we may have to reaccommodate things to get, you know, that started, you know, making longer or wider or whatever cabinets, so she's not putting her foot plates in the wall when she goes up to sinks and stuff like that.
Well, we've accommodated everything now, so that is what we're working on.
So this is one of the things with her new OT and PT, right? They want you to go ahead and talk about it.
I'm working on getting more control and strength, which is what OT is for, in my upper body primarily, and then at PT, I will hopefully, they've had me buy AFOs, which are ankle foot supports, I guess.
For people that don't have muscle in their feet, or
yeah, that like don't have any muscle in their ankles, like, so it stabilizes your foot. In other words, like, so you put it on and then you put the shoe on. That helps you like stabilize your ankles so that you can stand. So that's the primary goal, is to like help me start getting to where I can at least do pivot transfers, that sort of thing, because right now I depend fully on Dan, which is probably not good for either of us.
And I guess, you know, we are getting to be about 24 minutes, but I feel like we got more to talk about. So there was an episode of Dr. Phil a couple years ago, right? Of like, can you be a caretaker and in a relationship?
Yes.
And there are a interabled couple that was invited to that show that decided not to go, Squirmy and Grubs, right? And their idea was, you know, that's not true, you know. And Dr. Phil said 100% of the time the relationships would not work out, and they didn't want to have anything to do with Dr. Phil's theory, you know, because, you know, who knows if they're a real couple, or, you know, I don't know them personally. I mean, I'll assume that they are, but it is hard to be an interabled couple when you're also the caregiver of, and it's hard. Natalie gets upset, Natalie gets mad, I get mad. You know, we're portraying ourselves on YouTube in a certain way because we have certain topics to talk about, but, you know, right? We're only human, right? So, you know, and it's difficult, but let's not get into that. We will talk about that in a separate video, and hopefully we don't have a shouting match on camera for y'all guys to see, but maybe it'll get us 1 million likes and we could be millionaires, okay? So like I said, we were doing the soft opening to see if we can work brand Natalie, but we see that it's not possible to do based on Natalie alone.
I guess you guys think I'm too boring.
Well, it's also that it's hard to get topics and make videos with just you. I mean, and like I said, we talked about, you know, like bubbly, you know, ADHD personalities just zipping through stores and Disneyland and stuff like that and showing the wonderful life of being in a wheelchair when it's boring to most people. I'll admit it. I probably wouldn't watch it if I weren't in the situation. But you know, being that we're in this kind of situation, we took time to search YouTube for other people, you know, interabled relationships, other people in wheelchairs, other people with FA. We make it a point probably every 6 months, you know, something says, let's search, let's look, let's see how kitchens are accommodated for people and everything like that. And, you know, a lot of people that are at least independent, they will kind of design their own kitchen, design their own bathrooms and stuff like that. But I don't think, you know, I'm glad that I didn't mess up the rolling shower and make that decision, because that would have been bad on my part. I would have felt guilty about it. But I still feel bad that, you know, so much was fundraised for, you know, that, and donated, you know, from churches and individuals. And you never want to tell your people that have donated that you got what they were trying to help you with and it didn't work. I mean, you can't go out and say we need another $5,000 or $10,000 because that didn't work. But what if the second time around it didn't work? You know. So, but you know what? I guess what we're going to now is we probably need to rebrand the YouTube channel, find a new name for it, and try to focus on the future. We don't really have that many ideas yet for names, so if anybody is watching this after almost 30 minutes, you think we have some good ideas, you know, if you have a good idea for a name, go ahead and put it in the comments. And
yeah.
And one thing I think we really want to do, and this is something that Natalie's passionate about, is oral histories. Can we find people to interview and do oral histories? Maybe even some homeless, not ministry, but helping out some homeless people and stuff like that. Because that's what Natalie's passionate about. So oral histories are what we're thinking of. Just keep doing what we're also already doing, you know, gardening, trying new foods and stuff like that. Anything else you want to say, Natalie? Talk. You just talk, even if it's 40 minutes long. Just people want to hear you, not me. What are your ideas?
I don't know. See,
and that's why when I ask her what she wants to talk about, I have to come up with ideas.
Because I don't know. I just don't. I don't think I'm that interesting.
You have a story. You have experiences.
I mean, I probably am, but I need help on ideas of.
I mean, you say you're not introverted, but you kind of act like you're introverted when it comes up to find, you know, like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you do know what you like and you don't like, because you're pretty intent on not doing certain videos. Or if the videos are going south, you kind of say, I don't want to do this anymore, like yesterday. But and one of the topics we were talking about I'm not even gonna say what the topic is, but she really didn't want to do it when I first brought it up. But I kept bringing it up. Let's try this. Let's try it. Let's see if we can make it work. But
yeah, when I say I don't like something, I'm pretty fun. And I'll give it a shot, but if I don't like it, I'm not doing it.
And you, like I said, we tried two things, and I didn't like how it went. The first thing we were doing, you know, we were trying to be kind of lighthearted, and there are some things that we have to talk about that are not lighthearted. But Natalie says it's just not the right time. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
And but I think that's it. We're at 30 minutes.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Help me out. Give me ideas, please. Where to go, what to do. I need opinions, people.
All right, bye.